guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Chido, and to all my returning subscribers, hi, how are you? What's good? What's popping? I've missed you, and I know you missed me too. But today we're joined again by another guest, a human being who enjoys being here for free in his spare time. His name is Fungai. For those of you who don't know him, if you don't know him, you might want to get familiar with him because he funds this channel. I'm joking.
Oh, you're not joking about
I'm
that.
joking, I'm lying. I'm lying. But anyway, today we are going to do a video we are going to be asking Fungai questions that girls have always wanted to know, that girls have always wanted to know coming from a guy's perspective. So what I need you to do is give me the truth from a man's perspective, not only just what you think, but just generally.
So the views that I put on here are not my personal views, right?
They can be, but they also just generally for a guy. But majority of them should just be for a guy.
In general.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Alright, cool. Are you comfortable?
I'm very comfortable. How are you?
I'm fine.
What's the question, Mfunzo?
So, number one.
Poshi.
Is there such a thing as wifey material?
I think so, yes. Genuinely there is. As long as a guy wants to get married, there's an idea in his mind of what his wife should be. Hence the term wifey material. They might not say it, they might not write it down a list or vocalize, but they have an idea in their mind.
So it's not like the generic, she goes to church, she reads the Bible and stays at home and doesn't go to the club.
I don't think so, because the thing is, every guy is different. So like, you find if you're like a super, I'm a straight and narrow, I go to church every Sunday, I read my Bible every day, which you should really, I do this, there's a certain kind of woman you want to be your wife, because she's going to be the mother of your children and teach your kids the same stuff, right? So, and also she's going to be a partner. But if you're someone who's more like flexible, you like to go out, you're kind of, think of people like musicians and artists. The way they move is different. Right, creatives and I'm an accountant, right? Creatives and accountants are very different. So you find like sometimes in the creative wants someone who can be a muse to them, who can be, he can paint and draw.
Weird.
You know how muse, right? Right. So wifey material for a muse or a photographer might be a different picture from a wifey for an accountant or a material scientist. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I said there is one, but there's no. She has to go to church. She doesn't swear. She doesn't drink. I mean, that's.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the biggest red flags in a girl?
I mean, red flags. Personally, or just in general, for most guys, I think we live, unfortunately, we live in a man's world. So, for example, a woman who's known to have a high body count.
But I can lie.
And let me repeat, known.
Oh yes, okay.
The operative word is known.
Okay.
So you can have a closet full of men, and if I don't know, that's fine. But if we know, if it's common knowledge, I feel like that's a red flag, and for most guys it would be.
Actually, why is it? If I've ever been with your friend, and then we meet and whatever, most guys don't want to either get with you or marry you or whatever. It's almost like you become damaged goods. Why?
And it's not damaged goods. I think it's like bro code at first, because I think you don't want, unless you really, really love this girl, right? You don't want to be with someone your friend has been with. And also, I told your boys, it would be like, especially if your friend has told you about it. Like, I feel like there's a loyalty behind. If my friend, like my best friend Tari dates a girl, then I get with her.
Okay, what if
me and that girl, why are we together?
If you say you meet, right, and then you exchange numbers, you go on one date, nothing happens. Does she then become off limits? I
don't think so. I feel like, because if you guys tried to date and that didn't work, as my friend tried to date and didn't work, and then she found interest in me, then I think it's fine. I think it's completely okay. Guys who get upset of that are just jealous of their friend, probably.
Okay. Why do men lie for their friends?
Well, I think it's one of those. It doesn't even start as men. It starts as boys. You always have that friend. You go like, if you want to go out, you're going like, I'm going to someone's house. Your parents call them or they ask them, what are you guys doing? And that friend lies for you. That's where it starts, right? So by the time, even as teenagers, if you know you're with that friend who your parents are okay with, there'll always be that friend who will cover for you. So I feel like it's friends, we lie for each other because I feel like, I don't encourage people to lie in jail, but because I guess you care for them and you're trying to protect them.
Is there more to just liking a pig?
For me personally, I don't think so. Because think of it this way.
So if I find on your Instagram you're liking 500 pictures of naked hands.
Why would I? Okay, I don't like naked hands pictures.
Oh no, until you said you don't think so.
But 500, it goes from an act, right? You said your question was liking a picture.
Yeah.
But if it's a series of pictures of a certain type, then there is an issue, right? So if you go on, on Instagram, if you go to your settings, it can show you posts you've liked, right? If you go posts you've liked, it'll show every single post you've liked.
Yeah.
If we scroll down and see the majority are naked women, there's an issue there, right? Then there is more to that like.
Okay.
Right? But if it's just maybe some IG model there and I saw maybe a bikini that I think will look good on you, yeah, it's cool. But and then everything else is like soccer, basketball, clothes, shoes. And then, but if it's like, if 90% or 50, even 60% of us there is just daisies,
How and why do men just wake up one day? You're married, you have kids, you just wake up one day, you pack up your shucks and you start a whole new family.
I'm going to get a pack of cigarettes and never comes back.
Chad,
that's triggering for some people. I don't know. To be honest, it's lack of responsibility. You wake up, you look at your life, and you say, you know what, this is not what I want, and Chada, I'm out. And you don't care about the consequences of you leaving your wife and your kids. That's what makes guys do that. So I personally think that it's just men who are irresponsible do that, right?
Okay.
Unless you're saying they get a divorce.
But why though? If you said it's lack of responsibility.
Yeah.
Taking accountability. Why is communicating negative emotions difficult for a guy?
I don't think it's negative emotions. I think in general, and guys, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think in general for us men it's difficult to express our feelings, right? Because I can only speak for myself as well. You grow up in an environment where a man doesn't cry. So I've got so many scars on my legs and stuff, and I remember every time I got hurt, no matter how painfully how excruciatingly painful it is, I'm not supposed to cry, right? No matter what fight you get into, someone punches you want to cry, you're bleeding, you're not supposed to cry. So you come to a stage in your life as a man, you're so hardened to emotions. It's hard to communicate positive or negative emotions because you are now numb to it.
Why do men feel intimidated by a much more successful woman than them? Like if you're in a relationship
like marketplace
and
success.
man is more successful career-wise, then she makes more money or whatever. She's making headways, always the newspapers, type situation. Why are most men intimidated by that?
Okay, so why are men intimidated by women who are successful in their careers, more successful
than
them in their careers or the marketplace?
Career.
Yeah. I think honestly, it's the man not being sure of themselves in their manhood. And I'll explain why. What a woman is in the marketplace and what she is in your relationship are two separate things. The same way what I am at work in the marketplace or in my business or in my career is not what I am in the relationship. Kumba kuna CEO, kumba kuna chief financial officer, kumba kuna entrepreneur. It's just mom and dad or boyfriend and girlfriend, fiance and fiance. When you are now together, you are partners on equal footing, right? But when you're now in the marketplace, you can be more successful than I am. And that should be okay because I feel like women in general, some of the smartest people in the world are women. Some of the most powerful women in the world are women, right? So there will always be in my career or in times in my life that a woman will be more successful. There are things you'll be more successful at than I will be ever. So my manhood should understand that no, outside the house, as long as I respect her, we're not together, she respects me and she doesn't lord over her power and I don't lord over mine, well, fine. So I think most guys get intimidated in two parts. Some of them are insecure. What kind of, how can she be more successful? Maybe I'm not doing so much as a man. How can she earn more than me? The others is a fear of that success coming into the relationship. Your girl or your wife comes home and tells you, or so and so doesn't talk to me like this. You can't talk to me like this. You can't order me. You can't tell me to do this. Do you know I'm a CEO where I come from? Do you know I'm a business owner? It's like, bro, and most guys don't want that, so they inherently look for women who maybe are at a lower level career-wise, because it's kind of like, she's not going to behave like that to you in a relationship.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Okay. What's a man's biggest turn-off?
In general?
In a relationship.
A turn-off in a relationship? I could be wrong.
Disrespect.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't think any guy likes this. I mean, there's some guys who like girls who talk to them disrespectfully, but usually those relationships are toxic. But definitely disrespect, lack of hygiene, Gezaya scam. I'm telling you, but disrespect, and then and I think also people who like.
Have you ever been with someone else and together?
I mean, I shut it down before that happened. Nah, man.
Okay.
Wait, no, jokes aside. Brush your teeth. Use mouthwash. Floss. Bath. Dress nice. I'm not saying expensive.
Deodorant.
Wash your clothes. Deodorant when it's summer. Those things. Things we grew up and we were taught.
Okay. Why do men struggle talking about our periods? Like hearing about them or whatever, seeing blood or all of that. Why does it disgust them?
I think it's misunderstanding and lack of education in some instances. Because I think, I grew up around women, and I have sisters and stuff like that and cousins and all that. And I think, obviously, it's almost taboo, right? Like women machkura, or at least in the African setting. As a girl's growing and she goes through puberty and the changes she goes through, something that she talks to her mom and her tete and aunts, but the guys are never told that your sister is going through her form of puberty, right? But for guys, as you go through puberty, it's very apparent your voice breaks. So your sisters know you're going through puberty. You start growing a beard, get more muscular. But for women, apart from obviously breasts growing and whatever and changing bodily shape, that part of the sexual reproductive organs were not told as you're growing up. So you now get to an age where you're a man and your girl's or someone woman is on a period, like you, and all you think about is it's blood. But it's more than that. There's a science behind it, right? And it's normal. So I think it's just most people don't understand.
How do women talk about money without offending you? Like, how can if you're in a relationship with someone and you're looking towards marriage and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. Is it wrong for a woman to want to know someone's financial status?
I mean, if you want to get married, you need to know your person's financial status.
So how can we talk about that without offending people? Because the problem is, if a woman asks, next thing you know, she's a gold digger.
I mean, you know what? Remember, like what I said earlier, you're a team. You're at equal footing. So I think you need to come forward. Ideally, the man is supposed to initiate the conversation and say, "Baby, listen, salary yangu is 1,000 bond, or it's 200 USD, whatever money you make a month, or I'm a business owner. My net profits after paying taxes and my employees is this every month," right? Ideally, the guy is supposed to initiate. However, if you want to start this conversation, I think it's always good as a woman to come forward with your own finances. Listen, babe, listen, this is how much I'm making, right? And I know you and I are a team. So I wanted us to discuss our finances so that we can plan our way forward. How do you feel about that? Okay. And if he says, maybe he's just not at that level where he wants to share his finances with you. And the Bible says where a man's treasures is where his heart is. So if you can't share his treasures with you, I mean, his heart is not even with you. There's someone who knows how much he's making.
Why do men struggle with commitment?
I don't think that's true. I know men do very well on commitment. But to answer the question, commitment issues go far beyond the woman they're trying to be committed to. It's more internal to the guy. Some guys maybe grow up, for example, like me, some guys were, you grew up in a single parent household. Your father wasn't there, or your mother wasn't there, or you grew up seeing divorces and abuse and stuff like that, or your sisters also went through some form of abuse or divorce, it's far more than just the person you're trying to. I think most guys, although now in the world we're in, people don't seem to social media, the world doesn't seem to be encouraging of long-term commitments. People get married, they're divorced in a year, couple of years, so and so dating this person.
Microwave marriages.
Yeah, microwave marriages. So but commitment issues, I think it's more of, from a man's perspective, it's also fear of responsibility, because when you commit, it's a decision that you have to make every day, and you need to be responsible for your decision every day.
Okay, why do men give mixed signals?
That's a very ambiguous question. What do you mean?
Like, when someone today, they act like they love you, they buy you flowers, they call you all the time, they do all these things for you that indicate, I want to enter into a relationship with you, and then you ask, what are we? We're just friends. I'm not ready for a serious commitment.
Then they're not. I mean, you know what? One thing.
How can someone be not ready for a serious commitment, but you're doing everything that says you're ready for a serious commitment?
Let me tell you something about gents. At least from what I've experienced for myself and my close friends. Men know exactly what they want. Right? So, for example, getting you roses, getting you chocolates, taking you on dates. What are we? We're friends. That's exactly what you want. He wants you to be with him. Even there might be an asterisk mark of saying friends with benefits, but the answer is not more than this. You are never going to be my girl. At least I don't want you to be my girl right now. That's not a mixed signal. I think where women get it wrong is you now digest what you're being told to mean something else, right? So if a guy tells you, listen, we're just friends, and you say, but he bought me roses, he bought me this watch, he bought me these clothes, he loves me. No, he said you're friends. It's exactly that. Take it for what it is. But the thing is, take it the other way. And some guys now smart, maybe not smart enough, but they're clever enough to see and manipulate. She thinks that it's a relationship. So let me get relationship benefits out of her. So if a guy tells you, I want you to be my girl, that's another mixed signal. It's very safe.
So women should wait to be asked out, as in, Chido, will you be my girlfriend, before they fully commit to a man?
I feel like that'll be, because if he doesn't ask you, then read it. Like, you need to know what you're getting involved in. It's kind of like with a job. It's not a new job, you get a contract and you sign it, right? You're very clear about what's happening, right? You know what you're getting yourself into. I think it's worth discussing. I think as a guy, I've also been asked a few times, what are we? And times I'll be asked someone who I don't want to be with in a relationship, right? So I'd have to be very honest and say, like, Sha, we're just friends. And I could see that but at least, by answering that, she knows and she knew, and I know that, listen, this is as far as it gets, right? Even when we started dating, I asked you to be my woman, right? So you need to know. I don't think wait, but it's worth asking, where is this going?
Okay. So what makes men cheat in a relationship, even if you're quote unquote doing everything right?
Who's doing right, the guy or the girl?
The girl. You're loyal, you're honest, you spoil him, you respect him.
I don't know.
And then he still cheats.
Again, it's far beyond the woman now. It's not the guy thing, right? So I'm trying to think about the time I've cheated in a relationship. In all fairness, the woman I was with wasn't giving me everything I needed at the time. Not that I'm saying it's her fault that I cheated, and I don't think there will ever be a time your partner is perfect in that moment, right? There'll never be a time a woman is everything you're saying and a man will be everything. Relationships are dynamic. So the reasons why someone cheats are very different and in different opportunities. Some people cheat because maybe they feel emotionally they're not heard by their partner, and then somehow they meet a girl who listens to them. I think that's not Munaka, she will be ugly, but just because she listens. Like those men who cheat on the wives of their secretary. You see the secretary is some fat woman or something, but you have a beautiful wife, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like a wife, but because the secretary could listen, she gives him respect. He fell in love, or maybe not fell in love, she gave him an emotional outlet he couldn't get at home. Some people cheat because, I don't know, the wives no longer look like they did when they got married, After 1, 2, 3 kids, the woman's body changes, And then there's a younger girl, 21-year-old, 23-year-old, that's lust, Some people are the cheat because That's all they know before they even got married. When they got married, during the marriage, they've just been cheated. They've never actually been in a relationship where they were fully committed.
Yeah, no, this body here matter.
Oh, okay. I think, you know what? Hygiene was what I said earlier. I feel body hair is there for a reason, right? For certain areas. So you need to understand A, your body, B, the function of it. Some people say take it all off, right? But that's not why God blessed you with hair in certain areas, like your head, your armpits, your private parts or genitals or sexual reproductive organs, right? Yeah, as long as it's hygienic and you know, no bodily odors and stuff, I think it's fine.
Are you okay with it?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Alright. Anyway, I think that's enough for today. I think that we need to give Dr. Phil here a break. He needs to rest his mind before it explodes from all these questions. Let us know what you think about this in the comments, if you like it, if you want to ask Fungai any more questions, or if you want to dispute anything that he said. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.